There was enough caffeine to supply, all 4 years of college.
I heard a podcast that you were on and you were saying, or maybe they said that their thought about what you were saying was that selling is dirty.
I don't ever want someone to feel like I am being manipulative in selling. And I struggle with the moral compass of selling that story because that may not be the answer for somebody else.
Yeah.
It's like I tell my 6-year-old, you can like peanut butter jelly. Not everybody has to like it.
Right.
You have to remember your why.
Yeah.
Because it will be questioned.
Yep.
It will be challenged. It will be copied. And you can't do anything about it.
Welcome back to another episode of Better Than Before. Today, we are joined by someone who I really look up to and who's making big waves in the wellness industry, Roxanne Wise. Roxanne is the founder of Rookie, a supplement brand dedicated to redefining wellness with transparency, quality, and a fresh approach. But beyond her business, Roxanne is also a dedicated mom, balancing the demands of entrepreneurship and motherhood with so much grace and determination. In today's episode, we'll explore the story behind Rookie, what it takes to launch and grow a wellness brand while raising a family, and Roxanne's unique perspective on the wellness and supplement industry. Plus, she'll share valuable insights for aspiring entrepreneurs and fellow moms looking to make their mark. Get ready for an inspiring conversation that will leave you motivated to pursue your goals with passion and purpose. Welcome, Roxanne.
Oh my gosh. Can you write my bio?
I am so excited to have you. I already told you, but I'm actually drinking my greens. It is something that has drastically made my life easier. I was someone that wanted to take greens being in the fitness industry and everything, and it just could not stick. And then one day I tried yours and holy moly, it was just insane. And I was like, oh, I can get on board with this. And so now I crave it.
It's amazing that your body craves what's good for it.
Right? Yes. Because I've been trying to get healthy in quotations for so many years. And it actually feels like everything's coming into place now. And that's a whole different chat, right? Like about finding what works for you and everything. But when I tried your greens, I was just like, oh my God, thank God.
Oh, and that makes me so happy.
And then, okay, so I have so much to talk about. And I guess if you don't know anything about Roxanne, I'll let you do a little bit of a quick little intro, your little elevator pitch of Rookie, how you got started. And I know that you were in another startup brand and you just left, right? So I'll just I'll let you go ahead and take it.
I kind of explain it that Rookie, I didn't start Rookie. It just happened. I left a startup environment, like you mentioned, in 2020. That was my second startup environment. So I have a background in digital advertising and then e-commerce. And hustle culture and bro culture and long hours. Yeah. We did it all. There was enough caffeine to supply, all 4 years of college. But you get to this point in your life where the things that worked before are not working. And I had 2 kids at the time. One was experiencing some health challenges, and I couldn't hack it together anymore. There wasn't enough caffeine in the world to make me not tired. And I wasn't sleeping, even though I was very tired. My cortisol was elevated. My hormones were imbalanced. We were, having miscarriages and infertility challenges, and I just didn't have the answers.
Yeah.
So I quit what was the best job that I had experienced to date without a plan.
Wow.
I was a VP level at that company, and but I wasn't having fun anymore.
Yeah.
My life was suffering, my health was suffering, my family was suffering because I was not able to give them the best version of me.
Mm.
And so I left in pursuit of something more.
And it wasn't, you didn't have Rookie at the time. You just left
No,
not having a plan. Wow.
yeah,
That is,
which I don't know that I recommend.
yeah.
Also not good for cortisol levels. But I knew something had to give.
Yeah.
And I'm also not somebody to do something just because. I work because it ignites and fulfills passion in me. And I'm lucky to have that choice to work. Um, but I wasn't fulfilled anymore. And I wasn't happy and I wasn't healthy.
And would you, you said you weren't fulfilled and you for sure knew that it was your job, the career that you in.
I mean, I think it was deeper than that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I had a realization that whatever I gave them was never going to be enough,
Mm.
which wasn't their fault. It was something that I realized that I was trying to prove
Mm-hmm.
something to somebody.
And you still don't know what that was.
I think you just receive or you take a lot of validation in what others think of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had earned a high ranking title. I had earned the respect within this company. We did it. We scaled, 7 figures. We were crushing it from an external perspective. And I chased that. Honestly, like I chased that high a lot for the bulk of my career.
Mm.
And then I realized, for what?
Right.
For who?
Right.
What am I getting out of this?
Right.
Um, and I realized that, yeah, it wasn't ever gonna be enough, that place of fulfillment had to come from me.
Totally. Wow.
Yeah.
And so then after you quit, how long was it until you launched Rookie?
About a year and a half.
Wow. That's fast.
Yeah.
And so then
Yeah.
did you have, I mean, I know the answer to this because I heard a podcast, but
Yeah.
for those of you that don't know, did you know that it was going to be a supplement brand, or how did you go from quitting, I have no idea what I'm doing, to, okay,
Yeah.
let's start a supplement brand?
So in the few months that I left, I was going to lunch with friends and people I respected, putting feelers out for new situations, new jobs. And I had a conversation with who is now my business partner.
Mm.
And he said, "Well, what's next?" And I said, "I don't know. I'm going to take some time and probably find another position." And he was like, "Roxanne, you need to be in business for yourself."
So it was never, you never had like the intention of starting something for yourself. It was just more so like,
No.
okay. Wow.
And I think in retrospect, it's so much easier then and now to believe in somebody else.
Totally.
It didn't ever occur to me to put all of that work in
For
for
yourself.
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny, you were talking about how like tired you were and, no sleep and everything, but I'm sure like now working for yourself, it's like even
Yeah.
more work from experience. I know.
But different.
Different. Totally.
So
Totally.
in those few months, I was starting to work out again, drinking water, going for walks, prioritizing sleep. I was trying to get better.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to feel better. And my husband is a pharmacist.
Mm.
My father's a doctor. We love Western medicine. In our house, we still love it. But I started researching the benefits of Eastern medicine,
Mm.
adaptogens
Mhm.
and supplements, and also the benefits of healing your gut lining and the microbiome and how much that determines and balancing your hormones. That's stuff that nobody ever talks about with you when you're trying to get better.
Yeah, because it's all about
And
physicality and what you look like and how skinny you are and how this and that. It's
yeah,
never about
yeah.
the inside. Yeah, totally.
And that was always how I perceived health,
Mhm.
right? Diet starts on Monday.
Right.
I'm going to run a marathon. I'm going to like these goals that never necessarily felt like they fit me,
Mhm.
but I felt like I was supposed to do.
Mm. Like no rest until you die.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And all or nothing.
Totally.
And anyways, all the fad diets, all of the, anyways, I've tried them all and it never stuck.
Mm.
It never felt obtainable, achievable. And then I'm a very all or nothing personality too. And so then I'm like, okay, well, maybe next year.
Right. Right.
So I started using adaptogens. I started looking into the benefits of the different nootropics and vitamins and minerals. And I started to feel better. I started to feel better. I became obsessed with sort of that high
Yeah.
as well. Um, but I didn't feel like there was a brand that was selling it in a way that wasn't about the
Mm.
before and after physical transformation.
Yeah.
It was either very Eastern hippy dippy, which didn't feel like a mom of three belonged on that page,
Right.
or very focused on physical transformations.
I will say, not to cut you off, but that is actually why I gravitated to your brand. I think I found it on Instagram, maybe. Somebody shared it and I was like, wait, what this? I think they shared your sweatshirt, the balance one.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's all about like that's what I love too. Like I did the bodybuilding competitions. I did that and it's just a lot. And so,
Yeah.
for context, it was a sweatshirt of like a pizza, and it was like a pizza
Yeah.
driver, and it had, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it had something like balance is key or something like that.
It's
And
a slice of pizza lifting weights.
that's what it was. Yes. And I have wanted to purchase it for so long, but it's always sold out when you guys relaunch it. But anyway, I saw that and I went to your page and I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually really encouraging because even though I do have the fitness background and all of that, and I wouldn't consider myself a rookie per se, it felt welcoming and it was not as, what's the word? Oh my God, what's the word, Yami? When you go into
Intimidating.
intimidating, thank you. Why can't I
Yeah.
think? Yes, intimidating. And I have my app, and my app is called the Fit Club, and it was kind of along the same lines. Like, there are so many different apps out there and communities, but it never felt like I belonged. And if I felt like that, I'm sure other people felt like that, and that's why I think I resonated so much with your brand and how your approach was, and I just instantly fell in love. So,
Oh.
yeah, I think you're doing great things. Even if, like I said, I have been in the fitness industry for over 10 years, I can still appreciate it and still feel welcome.
Yeah. No, I love that so much. And with a name, so I landed on rookie. It was supposed to be something else.
Can you
Everything
share what it
happens for a
was?
reason. It was originally called Found Wellness.
Oh, cute. I like that too.
Yeah. And I wanted it to evoke a feeling of being home,
Yeah.
feeling at rest,
Yes.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Um, and right before we were going to launch and we had filed the trademark and everything, Kate Upton launched a brand called Found Active,
No way.
and it was a supplement line, and we had to start over.
Yeah, you had to pivot.
Yeah, but I think it ended up in a better, happier place
Yeah.
because Rookie when I when my friend pitched the idea to me at first, I was so turned off by it. I was like, "Oh," because you just kind of get this feeling with that word that's like a negative connotation.
What word? Supplement or rookie?
Rookie.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
The word rookie. I mean, you can throw it around as an insult.
Yeah. Yep.
You
Yep.
can, but it also could be like rookie of the year. You know
Totally.
what I mean? Like,
Totally.
hey, we surpassed everybody's expectations.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I wanted to lean into that because that's exactly what I was feeling. I was feeling at once intimidated by the space, but knew that we could be the answer for people. And I also had thrown away my career and was starting over with 4 followers on Instagram. And it just really sort of encompassed the feeling of vulnerability
Yeah.
that I wanted to convey, which is that it's never too late to start over. It's never too late to throw out what you knew and start from scratch. And to constantly be in learning mode is not only very rewarding and fulfilling, it's very freeing.
Totally. And I will say,
So,
sorry, go ahead.
yeah. No, that's it.
I was going to say that when you said that rookie, the word rookie has a negative connotation, my first instinct was to be like, no, it doesn't. Because I
Yeah.
feel like your brand has done such a good job of changing that narrative. Because when I think of rookie, I immediately go to you. I don't know. I no longer go to like the actual word of what what
Yeah.
it means. So I think you guys have done a great job with that. And
That is so nice.
yeah, no, truly, because you're right. You're absolutely right that you can throw, oh, you're such a rookie. And that usually means like you don't have
Yeah.
the best experience or you're not the best or whatever. And when you said that, it just like, I was like, oh, wait, yeah, you're right. Rookie is actually a word.
Yeah.
And so when starting the brand and what came first? Well, I have a couple questions with this.
Yeah.
Was the greens first, or was it something else, or was it a kind of combination of both or all? And then rookie was just like the hero, because I feel like is your greens powder like, is that like your best?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Because it's great.
We didn't launch with greens.
Oh wow.
We so we were formulating during 2020,
Okay.
and working on a lot of these developments and stuff, and trying to choose what type of formulas encompassed an everyday routine. For me, wake and sleep were first,
Which
to
are
formulate.
also very good.
Which I love. So we started with wake and sleep
Okay.
because that's what I was struggling with the most as
Right.
a mom, career person, with maximizing good sleep, improving my REM, and then also good energy.
And then so
I knew that
when did the greens come out?
we started formulating right after we launched Rookie,
Okay.
but I was so picky with what I wanted and the texture of it and the taste of it. And then I could not get it to a price point that I needed.
Right.
And I didn't want to make concessions with it. I wanted everything that I wanted in it, but I couldn't get it to the price point that I felt like would be fair or affordable.
Well, thank you
So
for doing
that
the
one
hard
came
work.
a year or so later.
Okay. And then was it an instant success, or did it take a little bit of time?
Like with anything, I mean, we're still building it. You know, we're not like a nationally known brand, but greens for sure changed the landscape for us.
And so you're in Sprouts, right?
hmm
Anywhere else?
We are sold with Free People
That's
and
right.
Anthropology.
That's right. That's right. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
I love keeping up with you guys on socials, because you guys are so fun. And I know you have a pretty small team, which we'll get to in a second, but it's just so fun to celebrate the wins with you, because I feel like, I guess I had found you shortly after you guys like started, but I mean, the greens was obviously still there, but it's just been really cool to see the brand evolve and just celebrate that with you guys. So When it comes to the product development, and I know you touched on this because you needed the wake and you needed the sleep, but how do you
Mhm.
determine what would come next? Like, you don't have to talk about what's in the future or anything, but
Yeah.
how do you kind of decide what supplements to create?
I honestly lean a lot into what I'm experiencing and what family and friends are experiencing,
Yeah.
which the more and more I study and find out is less unique
Right.
to any of us.
It's
These
funny.
are pretty big issues.
I always say we're all living the same life. Like, it's just the
Yeah.
more and more you talk to people, it's like, oh, we're just different characters, but the same exact life.
Yeah. We like, yeah, different characters, same font.
Yeah. That's good. That's so good.
Mhm.
And so, what was some of the biggest challenges? You mentioned that you couldn't get that price point down for the greens, but sorry, my dog. Did you hear my dog?
Yeah.
Oh my
It's okay.
goodness, I'm so sorry. What were some of the challenges that you faced? Was it finding a manufacturer? Was it doing everything on your own? Since I know you were on your own for a long time, right?
Yeah. It's a little bit of all of it. I mean, everything has been a learning curve. We're still having these challenges,
Yeah.
you know? It's finding a partner that you trust, a manufacturer that believes in you, and then trying to balance minimum order quantities
Mm,
and bulk ordering and high quality ingredients and someone willing to do that with you at the size that you're at
right.
when you're at that size.
Literally.
Yeah.
I feel that. I have an activewear brand as well, and the time of us filming, it's kind of on pause just because I'm juggling
Yeah.
so much right now. But it's hard when you
Yeah.
have these like big dreams, but you're still a relatively small brand. And obviously, I'm by myself, so you now have a team. But it's hard to kind of convince somebody to see the vision and to kind of be with you and to make terms in like the business world to like, just trust me on this, please, just trust me, and
Yeah.
go get that with you. Speaking of your team, can you share who your first hire was and when it was time that you thought it was time to hire?
Yeah. Something we didn't touch on is that in between when I left my job and started Rookie, I also was consulting for other people,
Mm,
other e-commerce business, who to hire, leadership teams,
that's
hiring out. And so the irony is that with Rookie, it has been infinitely more challenging to get a read on what that thing is going to be. So we've had contractors, we've had freelance help. You just piece it together. And even now, we're only a team of 3 full time,
mm.
and we all wear so many hats.
Yeah, it's like you have to find a unicorn, and I'm trying to find my
Yeah.
unicorn, and it's proven to be one of the hardest things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, my advice to you is finding someone that believes in
Hmm.
what you're building, that you cannot teach.
Truly.
And then you have to hire as much talent as you can afford.
Mm,
And in the beginning, sometimes that might not be as much as you would hope for,
right.
but too siloed of a strength or a skill set is still not helpful,
Mm.
because what you need is versatility and someone to roll up their sleeves and get the job done.
This is it. This is it.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
anybody out there listening,
So I mean, I think you need to find the people that get what you're building,
hmm,
because then they can think like an owner. They think like the brand thinks,
right.
and they can see things that you might not be able to identify that are going to help the brand in intangible ways.
And do you think someone, we're going off on a tangent here, do you think someone for that needs to be local?
Yes.
Me too. Okay,
For the
thank you.
reason, yeah. I
Totally.
mean, I'm old school.
Same.
I'm pushing 40 here.
Me too.
But I also, it's really unique because being a brand owner also comes with content creation
Right.
and behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to get yelled at for not like recording this podcast on a secondary device, and it's all of the stuff that's behind the scenes and the scaling and growing of a brand. And that's the stuff that people care about.
Right.
And you can't freelance that
No.
to someone remote.
Totally. And that's what I'm struggling with currently. Like I have the two brands and then I have my YouTube, my podcast. Like it's just so much. And I have an extra phone because of what you just said, because there's just times that you have to like do it all. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm exhausted.
I know. But you're crushing it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. So back to what you said about the content creation and the behind the scenes. Do you find, or actually, I'm not sure if you did this or not, but did you share your experience building Rookie on socials?
I probably don't do it enough. There's a lot of things that I struggle with. How much is too much? How much do you want to share?
Right.
And also, I'm not a naturally born content creator. It's not something that comes really naturally to me. I would way rather sell Rookie in person at like a retail kiosk
That's so funny.
than to try and make content.
Speaking of selling, and I heard a podcast that you were on, and you were saying, or maybe they said that their thought about what you were saying was that selling is dirty, and how I loved this portion of the podcast when sometimes you think that like selling is just dirty and you don't feel comfortable doing it. And what else did you say? Oh, the part where you were like, okay, yes, you want to think that your product is the absolute best, but is it actually the best? And you were referring to like, it might not be the best for person A, but for person B, the way it digests, whatever it might be. Can you touch a little bit on that? Because I think the transparency is so real. And also we'll touch on your ingredients in green specifically and your transparency with that as well. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes. So 2 parts.
Yes, 2 parts.
I don't ever want someone to feel like I am being manipulative in selling.
Yes.
We just actually talked about this because I had someone try our sleep product at an expo called Pinners recently. And he has struggled with sleep for 10 years.
Wow.
He's taken Ambien, he's taken other sleep aids, and he took our sleep stick home. We went and passed them out to all different exhibitors and stuff. And he came back the next day and bought 3 months worth because it is the only product for him that has worked.
Wow.
And I struggle with the moral compass of like selling that story, because that may not be the answer for somebody else.
Yeah.
And so again, it's like I tell my 6-year-old, his name is Louis, you can like peanut butter jelly. Not everybody has to like it.
Right.
And it won't work for everybody.
Right.
And so-and-so's allergic. Like it has nothing to do with the peanut butter and jelly.
Right.
And the same principle applies here, which is I love the product. The product works for me and a lot of people, but I can't promise that it's going to be this life-changing solution for you.
I feel like we are so similar in that aspect, because I was just on a podcast and I was talking about how for me, my main motivator is not money. And so sometimes it gets me in trouble, quote unquote, because I mean, you're building a business and the point of building a business is to make money. Right? Like just plain and simple. That's not why I got into business. But now that it has become a business, that's like the bottom line. And so same thing applies here, where it's like, yes, someone might love my activewear, but that doesn't mean that somebody else, do I think it's the best activewear? Yeah, probably. Do I think it's the best app? Yes, of course. But it's so funny that you said that, because I've never heard anybody talk about that or like talk about a business in that context so transparently and so honestly. So I was like, oh my God, I'm not the only person that thinks like this. I feel less alone.
Well, no, I mean, I think that's a human feeling, but again, like, how much do you discuss?
Right.
But when it comes specifically to supplements, and you've probably experienced this with activewear too, is like, it can be so predatory, and
Totally.
the marketing around it is so discouraging
Yes.
because the promises that they try to promise you, and then the delivery is not there. I would be so wary of turning someone off of supplements completely
Right.
because of something that I told them that, like, "Hey, we're gonna fix X, Y, and Z, and you're spending all your hard-earned money."
That's what it
Like,
is
I
for me.
genuinely.
Yes. That's what it
Yeah.
is for me too. Like I don't know, like just being in this space has opened my eyes to a lot of things. And I sell things online and as an influencer, quote unquote, you're always talking about products that you love and stuff. So I always try to tread carefully because I know
Mhm.
that, if someone sees something that I like and I use and I like love, and then it might
Right.
not work for them, I'm like, I'm so sorry. Can I give you a refund?
Yeah, yeah, and that's how I feel, but I also know the reality of with supplements too, everybody's biochemistry
So
and
different.
response and diet and genetics, there is no one solution that works for everybody.
Totally.
And but it's something that I struggle with as a
And then
business owner because I want to share that story because we could change someone else's life with a
totally.
slate product, but also that feels like it can be manipulative.
Well, I think from an outsider's looking in, I think it's maybe the way you tell the story. And it's not like everybody's going to feel this way. It's like this one
Yeah.
experience, this one man, he had this experience with it, and it could be yours too, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wouldn't, I
I like
mean,
that.
I know you're not out here trying to make a quick buck. But speaking of, we know
Mhm.
that there are supplement brands that are not as transparent. And
Mhm.
how do you feel about being a brand that is so heavily focused on being transparent with the ingredients and everything and having it be in a saturated market? I'm trying to word this
Yeah.
without being super negative. In a market where, or in a space rather, where all of these other companies are, being maybe a little bit manipulative in their marketing, and you're just, I'm sure it's just frustrating.
It's really frustrating because we're not selling sweatshirts.
Right.
You know, we really have the opportunity as supplement brand owners, to be stewards in the health and wellness space.
Yeah.
And there are so many brands that don't see it that way. They see it as opportunistic, low management, high margin
Yeah.
opportunity.
Right. And so try and get a little bit granular here. If somebody has never taken a supplement, or let's just call it a
Yeah,
green, let's do a greens, nice and
greens.
simple. Is there one or two ingredients that they should look for to make sure that they're getting a good product?
Yes. It's really hard to break down labels because of the way that people classify blends and
Mm,
ingredients and
okay.
disguise things. But my best piece of advice would be to look for nutrition. Sorry, the echo's killing me.
Sorry.
Nutrition density. That's fine. Nutrition density. So you're looking for 5,000 milligrams or 5 grams or more of reds and greens and cruciferous vegetables and high benefit blends
Okay.
or individually sourced.
Okay.
Um, the bulk of what a greens product is supposed to offer and be are all of those dark leafy greens that you're not otherwise getting.
Right.
Secondary to that are digestive enzymes and probiotics. We want to help heal the microbiome. So repair the damage done on a daily basis with everything else that we put in our bodies and external factors with hormones, etc. You want to try to repair and feed healthy bacteria,
Okay.
which is what the probiotics do. Digestive enzymes are going to help you break down food that you're getting throughout the day so that you get even more nutrient absorption. And so those are the main things. But
I know there's just so much.
the other big thing is fiber content.
Right.
When you have reds and greens, when you have a big bowl of broccoli, you're getting 5 to 7 grams of fiber. When you are replacing vegetables with a powder, you are not getting the same amount of fiber density.
Mm,
So you need to make sure that your product has fiber in it, or you are supplementing your greens powder with a fiber.
okay. That makes sense. And then
So,
go ahead.
yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, just it's the insoluble, soluble fiber that helps the gut
Right.
and to keep things healthy and moving, and also feeds that healthy bacteria so that you don't feel so weighed down,
Okay.
that
So
your body is moving.
2 questions about that. Number 1, nice short answer. Do you suggest taking the greens first thing in the morning, or is it okay to take throughout the day?
It's okay to take throughout the day.
Okay.
Anytime is better than not taking.
Right. Right.
The best optimal time where you're going to feel the most benefit is in the morning.
And then would you do, because this is something that I would always question when I would take the greens and wake, would you do greens first, then wake?
The right answer is to take greens
Okay.
before you take anything else.
Okay.
I'm a mom.
Yeah.
I only have so much time to get all the things in. It's not going to kill you
If you
to
take,
mix the two together,
I've done that once and
right?
it was delicious.
Yeah. Yeah. And it is really good. The other hard truth is that caffeine is a diuretic. And so anytime you take supplements with caffeine, you risk most of them ending up in the toilet.
Okay. That's good to know.
You just need 20 or 30 minutes for absorption of those vitamins and minerals. And caffeine does not allow that to happen in as an effective way.
Okay. So 30 minutes before you drink your caffeine.
Yeah, coffee,
Okay.
your caffeine, whatever.
Did you
Do
guys
it.
hear that? Do not take your greens first, then have caffeine. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do that moving forward. Okay, and I'm gonna post it on social so I can be held
Well,
accountable.
the big thing too is outside of it just being caffeine, and not to get too sciencey, but coffee contains tannins,
Yep.
which are also blocking absorption of those vitamins and minerals.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Good to know. I have
yeah.
actually been trying to delay the caffeine. Everyone says water before caffeine, but also I want to
Yeah.
eat at least something with protein, something nutritious before the caffeine. And sometimes sometimes I do it and sometimes I just can't help myself.
Yeah. Well, and everyone feels so differently. Some people feel nauseous in the morning.
Yeah.
Some people can't have anything. It makes it worse. So again, going back to just like doing something is better than doing nothing,
Right.
than trying to make sure you get every step correctly.
Totally. And something I like to say is that we're being told so many different things of like how to live a perfect life, the healthiest, the most, whatever. But I think when you listen to podcasts or read books or whatever, listen to interviews, I think you take what you think will work and then leave the rest. Like, I don't think we need to like do everything all at one time because we're literally going to overwhelm ourselves and then it's going to be like absolutely nothing. You're going to be like analysis by paralysis or paralysis by analysis. I always get them mixed up, but then you end up doing nothing. But you mentioned the mom comment and I want to touch on that and how you're able to balance it all, running a company, being a mom, trying to, spend time with your family. How?
Have I given you the illusion that that's happening?
No, I think that you're, again, super transparent and I do follow you and Rookie. So I do see it and you're actually hilarious to follow too. But I think it's a breath of fresh air, but I think that I still want to know, like, what does your morning routine look like? What are some non-negotiables for you? Tell me everything.
I start my day with our Wake and Immune product. I drink it first thing
Do you mix the immune
because,
and okay.
yeah, immunity is my holy grail. It's going to get polarizing reviews on flavor, but nothing beats the benefits.
Right.
And when you have tiny children in the home, you know, but nothing works better. I've tried so many different immune support options, but this is my non-negotiable. So I take the two together. I go do my 45 minutes to an hour workout. I have my electrolytes, and then I come upstairs and do breakfast for my family.
Okay.
I drink my greens with my breakfast. I usually have some sort of eggs, protein source, and then get them off to school. And I start my work day around 9:30.
Nice. And then you're working
Yeah.
nonstop from 9:30 to
I mean, is there ever an off switch when your phone
I
is
know.
involved?
I know. I know.
I I try to hold office hours until about 3:34.
Okay.
My kids get home about 2:30, and then our nanny leaves. And I try to be as present as possible with them with
Yeah.
whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
There's always an expectation of being on, and we're a small business, so we're all trying to cover DMs, customer service, and emails. But I try to be really present with my kids when it's my turn to be the parent.
Yeah. That's something that
Yeah.
I'm trying to do as well. It's so easy to just pick up your phone and like answer emails or um but I don't ever want to be that parent that like I mean, you've seen them on social media probably people sharing like
Yeah.
what it looks like when you're on your phone with your kid and when you're not. And it's just like,
Right.
"Oh, I don't want to be that person." So, yeah.
Some tricks that I have,
Yeah.
which I'm not like always diligent at, but I do feel like it helps. I leave my phone in the car,
Mm.
or I put it up in my bedroom on the charger, and I wear my watch around
Oh,
the
that's
house.
good. Yeah.
So if people need to get a hold of me, I don't have FOMO or like, oh, when somebody calls, all the important stuff happens here.
That's true.
I can read text, I can get calls, but I don't have the distraction of getting on and checking,
And
scrolling.
scrolling, yeah, because you could go
Yeah.
on for an email and then you're like, how did I get on TikTok?"
Yeah. How did we get here?
So thank you for sharing that. That's great. Okay, so where do you see Rookie in the next couple of years? What do you have on the pipeline? Anything fun, exciting that you want to share?
Yeah. It's always fun to imagine your brand as a grown up, which we're not. I don't know if we'll ever get there. Um, I really have loved the accessibility of drink mixes
Mm,
and supplements. I personally have developed some drink fatigue with my supplements. And also, there are some negative connotations with just these stick pack brands
mm,
in my mind. And we have so much we could offer and so much that we could do if I wasn't worried about flavoring everything in a way that people would want.
yeah. I
You can
yeah.
have a really, really good product and know somebody doesn't like some like coconut,
Yeah.
but the product is amazing, but they don't want to buy it because you only sell it in one flavor.
And okay, this I have no idea how this works, but is it easy enough to just pick a different flavor or does it not work like that? Does it have to like work with the formulations?
It goes back to minimum order quantities.
Oh, so for instance, for you, it's like a flavor versus a color for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. I mean, maybe you don't want to carry as much of one style, but you still want it represented. We're just really limited with how much inventory we can carry and where the cash is.
Totally.
And I also have expiration dates from the time my
Right.
purchase order
Right.
hits my floor that I have to get it sold.
Oh my gosh, that's so true. I did not think
Yeah,
about the expiration dates. Oh my God, your anxiety.
it's
How you doing,
terrible.
girl?
I don't know. Not well.
Do you mind sharing
Um,
what your MOQ is? Just as a I'm just dying to know as like an act because I know what
yeah,
mine are
it
for.
depends. We're required to do about 5,000 units
Wow.
per flavor
Okay. So for those of
at
you
the
that don't know
minimum.
what MOQ means, it just means minimum order quantity. That's like the minimum
Yeah.
amount that you could order of. For you, it's specific flavor, right? So it'd be,
Mhm.
so let's just say sleep, you would have to do sleep of the peach mango, sleep of what other flavors do you have?
Crisp apple,
Crisp apple, and all that has
passion
to be
guava. Yeah.
at least 5,000. That's a lot.
Yeah. A lot
Wow.
versus if we want to do a capsule product, I don't have to worry about flavoring it. I don't have to carry it now in 2 flavors,
What does a capsule product mean?
a supplement that will be
Oh, a
encapsulated.
capsule. Okay. Duh. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah. And I know that those are not everyone's favorite. Some people don't like swallowing pills,
Hmm.
but the reality is a well-rounded routine, you're not going to be able to drink everything.
Right. No, totally. And then, like you
And
said,
not
the
all the
fatigue.
flavors will mix.
Right.
And at some point you should drink some water.
Yeah.
So, but it's hard. It's hard to fit it all in.
Totally.
So for me, I would way rather offer more solutions that are going to be helpful for people than carry more flavors.
Yeah. No, that makes sense because at the end of the day, your why is to help people. It's not to have like this a flavor of everything.
Yeah.
And if you're going to
I mean, I
get to that,
would, yeah.
yeah. That is so interesting. I could talk about like manufacturing and stuff all day, especially on a
Yeah.
different side of things because it's just so interesting how it works. Um, yeah. So is there anything that you're working on right now that we can share?
Yeah. I'm an open book. Marketing hates to be me. They hate to see me coming. But we are working on 2 capsule products.
How exciting.
We've been formulating them for about the past year. And again, I'm probably too sensitive. I just really wanted to make sure we were putting forth a product that was going to help a lot of people. And so the one that we're launching soonish is really just meant to focus on estrogen
Oh,
in the
cool.
body. Mhm.
Love that.
So I think that people, there's so many questions and buzzwords about hormone and hormone health and what that means. And so focusing on it from the angle that this product can both be good for men and women,
Mm,
but it's also estrogen balancing,
okay.
which is usually the cause for a lot of PCOS
Yes.
symptoms,
Yep.
PMS symptoms, and a general discomfort and mood swings and physical manifestations. It's hormone imbalances can be so tricky.
Yeah.
Hormone headaches.
Mm.
It does help a lot of areas.
I am
So
so excited. I'm so
yeah,
excited. And
I've been on it for like a year now,
oh,
and
really?
it's life changing.
Oh, good. I'm so glad to hear.
Yeah.
I wanted to say one thing though. I just want to say thank you on behalf of like everybody, especially me
Oh,
as a fitness professional. And I see all of these different brands and I know how easy it is for, the clickbait and the manipulation and, all these AI photographs. It's refreshing seeing a brand that actually cares about the person and not so much as the dollar amount or the how much they're going to get back. So thank you. And I think
oh,
that we
that's so
should we should
nice.
honor that and because it's very hard, especially in I feel like in this day and age it's very easy to make a quick buck. And I tell myself all the time, I'm like, I could have done this in a much easier way and I could have made money by selling anything. But like you, I'm very weary. I don't want to put out something that is just going to sell just to make money. So just wanted to say thank you before I forget.
No, that's so nice.
And number two, we've talked a lot about all of the supplements and what's in it and everything, can you share, because I know you didn't go to school for this or anything, but obviously you are very educated in the subject, but how did you, how do I say this without like giving the answer? Who did you work with to formulate these things?
So one of my business partners has a PhD in biosciences.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to make sure that people know that
Um,
you have credibility and this is not just a random person putting things together. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, just stirring in my kitchen. No, so with every formula that we bring to market, I have my business partner who has his PhD in biosciences and a full background in raw material manufacturing.
Oh,
So
amazing.
that's what he does. So not only does he understand the materials, he understands the form that is going to be best
Mm.
for our product. So whether that's a chelate, how it's bound, how bioavailable it is, he has his hands on everything. And then we work with a formulator.
Okay.
So I say, hey, here's what I'm doing. Here's the outline of my product. I want it to contain X, Y, and Z ingredients as the highlight. And then give me some options
Oh, cool.
for supplementing these other
Right.
areas. So with every product, I like it to be as most punch for the product
Yeah.
as we can. You can't be everything to everybody.
Yeah.
It won't fit. But what we can do is offer a really nice solution with ingredients that are really complementary
Hmm.
that give you the best end result. So I like to say that we're selling solutions, not ingredients,
Oh, that's good.
which is how a lot of supplements are sold.
Right. And I will say, talking to you, it's really fascinating to see how all these people in your life, yourself included, it's like it sounds like you're meant to be where you need to be or where you were always meant to be. Like
Oh,
you have that background in operations and everything, and then he has. I mean, it's like perfect. It's so great, and
yeah.
it feels really like an outsider looking in. And I'm sure like you probably think, how did I get here? Like, am I doing the right thing? I mean, all these.
Literally every
Yeah,
day.
me too. That's why I know you're doing it because I'm the same way. So it sounds really cool to like hear your story and just like how it's all pieced together and how it's just beautiful. So I hope
Thank
that you
you
can,
so
yeah,
much.
no, I hope that you can kind of relish in that today because what you're doing is not easy. Number one, and number two, it's just helping so many people. So
That is so nice.
before we end, I have a question that I always ask everybody. The title of this podcast is Better Than Before. So, is there a piece of advice that you've received from somebody that has made you better than before?
Oh, yes, for sure. I think it's not a piece of advice that I was given, but it's a piece of advice that I give a lot of
Oh,
people.
give it to me.
And I am going to give it to myself today. I just because we're being transparent, right? Like
Yeah.
this shit is so hard.
It's so hard.
I cried every day this
Oh
week.
no. Oh no.
It's still early, but it'll come later, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The thing is that, and the reason that I get up and work on Rookie every day again is that you have to remember your why.
Yeah.
Every single time you go to make a decision for your business, for yourself, is just check in with yourself and check in with your why
Mm.
because it will be questioned,
Yep.
it will be challenged, it will be copied,
Mm.
and you can't do anything about it.
That's the
But
frustrating
if,
part.
yeah, but also it's the piece that nobody can take from you.
That's true. Yes.
People come out and will continue to come out with supplement companies all day long. They I can't tell you how many times we've been told, hey, they brought your greens formula. They're trying to replicate it. They said this is the one we want to do. And it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
But the thing that people can't take from you, the piece that people resonate with,
Right.
is your why.
Yeah.
And when the days are long and the things are challenged and someone says something awful on the internet, it can never take away your why.
Yeah.
And as long as you're being true to that, and as long as you be true to you, it doesn't matter who launches
Right.
the next activewear line that looks very similar to spring 2024, or someone can copy your
Yep.
branding, which has happened to us too, and the stick packs and
Mm.
the feel,
Yeah.
but our why, I feel and I hope, transcends everything else. Packaging is going to change.
Yeah.
It doesn't make us who we are.
Right.
Your why, which is also why I was drawn to you in this whole social networking experience, is the transparency.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you can stick to that on the days when it's hard and the days when it's questioned and the days when someone copies, which is inevitable, you just are going to only be rewarded with that original feeling
So good. That's
of
so
why I
good.
started, why I do it, who I do it for. And nobody can take that from you.
That's so good. Thank you so much. Before
Yeah.
we wrap up, where can everybody find you? You can share Rookie and then you can also share your social if you prefer.
Yeah. We're Rookie Wellness on Instagram. We're rookiewellness.com. You can find us to shop Sprouts, Amazon, Free People, Anthropology, all the places. But I like to, I like to tell people I'm way better creating supplements than I am social media, but come hang out anyways because we are a good time.
She is a good time. Thank you so much for being here and taking some time out of your day to just be on our podcast. I know that you've just helped so many and inspired so many women today. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Yami.
Thank you.